Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm going to get into another frequently asked questions video. I'm going to grab 3 comments from 3 previous videos, and I do this regularly. So if you want your comment or question answered, leave it on a video, leave it on this video, and I might just get to it. Also, if you leave your IGN, I will try to say thank you if I use your content. Finally, if you're new to my channel, my name is Dwayne Cunningham. I go by Infidel1258, but you can just call me 12. And I've been covering this game for years. I've been playing this game for years, and I love it because it's entertaining, but also because it's rewarding, fun and rewarding. That's like the secret sauce to Splinterlands. Trivial rewards that add up meaningfully across time. And with a long enough time horizon, I'm convinced that you'll see price appreciation on those assets. That's not days, weeks, months, that's years. But I really think that's the power and the path to it being sustainable and replicable. That's why I'm so excited about it. That's why I invested every last penny I had in this game years ago, and why I continue to be excited about it today. If any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to stick around, stay tuned, like, and subscribe. And we're going to get into 3 comments from 3 different videos right now. So I'm going to the YouTube comment section. I haven't looked at this, but I did see I just pulled it up and I noticed that this one's doing quite well. My plan for Rebellion, and we've got 550 views on that one. As I said, like I want to say a week or 2 ago, the tone has changed. Now that's a far cry from the 1,000 or thousands of views that I was seeing on some of my videos from the last bull market, but I feel an excitement. I hear it in other content creators. I see it on Twitter. You guys have been watching the cryptocurrency market. You see the green candles that have been happening lately. There's a lot more altcoins that are having some fun recently, and so it's even Hive. That's interesting to watch. SPS over, up 0.2 of a penny, 2.5 of a penny in the last 48 hours, 72 hours. Great stuff. More to come, I think. I certainly think, anyways. But let's get back to the comments. Okay, so RSBT 3 ounces. Okay, so on that video, we're talking about 3 different options with Rebellion. I said you could buy packs from the team and pay $4. You could buy packs from the peer-to-peer market, pay $3. You're not going to get airdrops. You're not going to get promos. You're not going to get promos. You're not going to get chance at titles, etc., which can be really meaningful, especially if you have a lot of packs to buy. But if you just go in like a few packs, you buy it from the peer-to-peer for that discount. And finally, I said you could wait for cards. Those are not going to be cheap, but that's going to be probably the cheapest path to get the least amount of cards. You won't get the most cards that way. You'll get the most impactful cards that you might really need. So 3 different paths, 3 different options, 3 different budgets sort of. And I think I'm personally going to try tomorrow or the next day. I'm hoping I can buy, I'm hoping I can buy at least 200-300 packs, but we'll see. So the comment says, I think this time the pack sale of Rebellion is in a very different situation compared to the last sale of Rift Watchers. With Rift Watchers, we were kind of still in the bull market, and I traded my SPS for a lot of packs. This turned out to be very well since Rift Watcher cards mostly held their value, and SPS declined from 10 cents to 1.5 cents. Now I feel with SPS that low, it's going to be better to hold the SPS for the next couple of months and instead of buying packs. I think a crypto bottom is in, and we are going to see massive price appreciation over the next 6 to 12 months. Rebellion packs will always be available to purchase for the next year and are limited in their ability to appreciate in price. So for me, it's SPS bull market first, and then buy into Rebellion packs over the next couple of months. Okay, fun comment. This is a really fun comment. Thank you for that. And you've been subbed for a while here, over a year. Thank you very much, RS. So there's a lot here. I think the first main point that you raise is really that, where do I want to start? Well, you feel Rift Watchers is different than Rebellion. And you're saying that there was a bull market during Rift and there is a bear for the Rebellion. So that's going to change how you at least are purchasing packs. I think that's fair for sure. But as you point out, I wouldn't say it's really that we're in the bear anymore. It's, this language is so strange. It's like Bitcoin is pumped from 15,000 or 16, whatever it was. I think 17,000 was like the bottom. And now we're at 35, 37,000. And we are still using the language bear market. Now I am too, because the altcoins haven't really gone on their crazy, 10, 50, 100x. And some of them will. And that's my view of crypto. That's my view of the altcoin market. I think that happens when Bitcoin retraces. All that said, is that now in the next few months, as you allude to, I'm inclined to agree, but I am not taking any extra bets. I'm not buying any extra crypto. I've built my bag. I've accumulated my resources over the years, as I've always advocated on this channel, slow and steady, dollar cost average, earn them with your time and attention. And now I'm just going to wait and see. And so I think I agree with you, but I am very reluctant to say I know confidently. And it feels like you have a degree of confidence that maybe I even lack around your timing. It sounds like you feel the timing is the next couple months. That would be awesome. Let's go. I hope you're right, but I by no means know that. And yet I feel I could totally agree. So that's one tension I want to agree, disagree with you on. But I also want to say this idea of the Rift Watchers being different because, well, your SPS was so high back then. I get you. You're saying 10 cents is way bigger than 1.5. You're right. But man, 10 cents, remember, people were reluctant to let go of their Rift Watchers for 10 cents SPS because SPS had been 50, 60, 80, $1, like at the initial release. And I remember a lot of people were like, 10 cents is ridiculous. I can't get rid of my SPS for that. So I would say at every moment in time, people walk in a degree of reluctance to let go of their crypto assets because they believe a bull market will come and they don't want to miss that moon mission. Which means I think no matter what SPS was, if it was $2 today, well, if it was $2 today, there would be such exuberance in that moment because it had been 1 cent recently. But the point I'm trying to make is that wherever we are at, there's a story that led us to that. And there's almost always a tension in letting go of your crypto. So that's point number 2 I want to make on you. And then the third is that, remember, you're talking about Rift Watchers as if it's a direct comparable, but Rift Watchers was viable only for SPS at first. And that was for a long while. I can't remember how long, but that was for a while before we finally passed a proposal saying DEC was acceptable. And Rebellion is different. From the gate, we can buy Rebellion with DC, which is important because that means we get a discount because you can buy DC from the marketplace, or at least you could, for 700 Splintoshis. Not even, I think, a month ago, 2 months ago. Now we're at almost peg. But then also there's a voucher discount. 5 vouchers equals $1. So there's discounts available that didn't exist for Rift Watchers. So that's my third point I want to share with you. And I think there was one more. Finally, you talk about how you think the better short-term play is holding the crypto assets. I think I agree, like I said. But one thing to always remember is that you're not going to see the same outsized gain potential with cards, with NFTs, with Rift Watcher or Rebellion or Chaos or whatever pack comes next. You're not going to see the same gain opportunity with the cards themselves as you might with SPS. Why? Because cryptocurrency tokens have crazy outsized gains. They're driven by investors as well as speculators, as well as, gamers who just love this game. There's a confluence. There's this meeting, this cross section of different interests and interest groups that draw demand for SPS. Plus, we get functional demand created by things like land and the burning mechanisms, the 50 liquidity pools that are supposed to come with land 2.0, and the burning mechanisms that should entail, because again, we need DEC and the flywheel. So cryptocurrency tokens can gain in true bull markets for alts. They can go 50 or 100 times. Like if you look at Doge, and when Bitcoin went to 68, Doge went, I think it was 80x or something like that. And that's not unheard of for some major coins. Like, I mean, Doge is not a nothing coin. There's a huge market cap, especially after it went up 80. I think it was almost $1. I forget now, but that's possible. And then with some of these, like SPS, it's crazy how little our market cap is, and where 50 cents $1 would take us is still not unreasonable. And so the multipliers are definitely available in crypto. I agree with you there, but simultaneously that means the slippage or the concern or the worry or the losses, paper though they may be, are probably less with a NFT based portfolio. Meaning, if you had $100,000 in Splinterlands all in SPS, you have the opportunity for crazy outside gains in a way that a guy who has $100,000 in cards will not. Doesn't mean the cards don't go up. I bet the cards in the next bull market go up, 2 to 10 times. I really think that. I think it's possible. But I think that SPS could go up 80 times. But I also think if you're wrong about timing and you think you said you called the bottom, you said we're a couple months away from the SPS, going for a ride. I think you're right. But if you're wrong, SPS could slip to a half a penny from a 1.7 cents. That's possible. I don't think that's going to happen. But that is absolutely is possible. And if people think it's not, they've not been in crypto long enough. Because these things, you think there's a bottom, and then when you think some line breaks and you're just blown away by how low these things can go. And so tokens are far more exciting, far more upside, far more downside. Cryptocurrency, NFT tokens, especially when they have functionality like a game backed by a certain player base that won't even sell it no matter what, because they just love what the game is. That's going to create like an artificial floor. That's going to be a buoy into the price point, and it always has been, and it even was during this bear market. So I agree with a lot of what you said. I appreciate your comment, but there's some feedback and maybe a little bit of pushback on a couple of your points. Thank you, RS. Okay, 2 comments on this one video because they're relatively brief. First of all, Kingbo, thank you for leaving a comment. 2 years subscribed. Thank you, dude. This is a video I did talking about how I was burning. This is actually a frequently asked questions video also, where we talked through 3 comments from 3 videos. If you want more content, check that one out. But the first comment, I believe, was about burning Gladiator cards. I had a gold foil epic Gladiator card, and I found out that I had 2 BCX of it. I've used that card 3 times ever, and I could get 20,000 DEC for it. That's $20 at peg value, and we're pretty close to peg value for a card I've used in a year and a half, 3 times. So yeah, I burnt that thing, and I was blown away by the sort of the DEC opportunity there. It was a gold foil epic, and I had 2 BCX. And I see Kingbo here saying probably going to burn my gold foil glads. Nothing above an epic, but doubt I'll ever use them. Might as well get some DC for Rebellion packs in pre-sale and an extra guaranteed airdropper card or 2. See, this is fun. That's where I was at. Like, it's like if I could put that $20 to better use right now, cards are really cheap. So you could buy things with that. Really cool, interesting cards, Rift Watcher cards, some of which are really exciting and fun that I don't have maxed out. Even some old cards, alphas and betas, have really lost 70, 80, 90% of their value from the last sort of 6 months ago, even maybe more, 6-7 months ago. But yeah, packs of course is awesome. Land is interesting, and so why not? That's what I thought. But I would say be careful. Like, burn them all. I mean, some of them are really powerful, and the question is, do you use them? So I happen to rely on data. I use SPLINTERCOACH to access how often I've used that card. So I knew objectively I never use it. So why not take the money? So Kingbo, thanks for that. But check out that data. You can even have, so Kingbo, check out that data and see what you see. But because, you don't want to just sell something because you think you never use it. And maybe the data is, in fact, that is very useful. Especially maybe if you don't regularly fight in gold foil brawls, and maybe one day you might want to. But yeah, that card was objectively not functional to me, for me, and so the $20 made sense. One more comment on this quickly. Alistios, thank you for the support, buddy. Appreciate you. 1-year subscriber. If you got lands, you should wait before doing that, as these gold foils you never use might later be usable on land and have further more value. Yes, he's right. I wanted to cover this comment as a second for this one video because he's right. You at one point are going to be able to put those cards to work on land, but there's a significant DEC cost for that. And actually the DEC cost, last I looked, even just to let them farm the land, was essentially twice as much as you might want to spend on the DEC for an equivalent free market card. When I see a free market card, I mean, what does it cost to get a gold foil epic? If I come into the buy market and I just go into gold foil and I go into Epic, I can buy one for $6. And last time I remember looking at, it was like $9 or $10. Like it was significantly more than just coming and buying whatever was the cheapest equivalent. And so, yes, I could, but I'm actually not going to save money that way. Now, maybe it makes sense because also there's new synergies. One thing he didn't mention and no one mentioned, but worth considering. You know, throwing away a card like that, there's always going to be new synergies that come. Maybe there'll be a new summon that buffs archery. Maybe there'll be a new synergy that really improves what that card was and could do. And now it's gone. But the decision's made. At $20 is $20. So I'm glad I did what I did. Let's get one more comment from a different video. Lots of great comments in here. I wish I could tackle them all. Maybe I'll have to do another video tomorrow doing some other FAQ stuff. But I see a comment from Bananas, and he's commenting on card burning benefits everyone in Splinterlands. This was a video where I tried to articulate the fact that there is going to be a card burning event. It'll happen in the first quarter of 2024. Matt already told us there will be. You'll be paid with something like promo cards and titles, but then they'll probably negotiate some sort of DAO contribution for Rift Watcher or Rebellion packs for the winners. And one of the things I wanted to point out was that card burning is actually great for the ecosystem of card holders, meaning whether you're a whale or a krill, you benefit when others burn cards because the supply drops, meaning whether even if you didn't burn a card, even if you didn't have a chance to win those lottery sort of titles or packs, you benefit because there's fewer of the card you hold because they burned. So it's great. It's actually beneficial for everyone. It benefits everyone from the richest whale to the, the most poor krill. So Banana says, what we really need is more players. But guess what? If we had more players, we'd need more cards. So if we burn cards now, but then we get more players later, that's a real win-win. That's the interesting point that I try to make in a variety of ways. And I want to say it one more time right now. It's this idea that card prices are impacted by two factors. You need to understand this. Your favorite cryptocurrency, your favorite NFT, the house you live in, whatever has a price, that price is impacted by two factors, supply and demand. And you can manipulate one factor or the other or both and see the results, the following results. If you reduce supply of the cards that exist, you will necessarily increase the price, even if demand stays stagnant. Reducing supply, demand staying stagnant, the price will go up because there's fewer options for the people who want it to access it. That's necessarily objectively true. Now, simultaneously, if you have the same supply, we do not delete cards, but we increase demand, you will have the same problem. Problem is a funny word in this context. Recognize that if you have a stable supply and increased demand, you have more people chasing after the same card, and it's the same result. Price goes up. But what he's saying is win-win is like we decrease card supply and we see an increase in demand. That is what I see happening. That is what I expect to happen with SPS almost first and foremost. I'm so crazy hyped for what's happening with land, with the demand for DEC, with the Rebellion packet and how it's payable in DEC, with the 50 liquidity pools that are supposed to come in, how that's going to require a DEC stake, which means SPS burning. All of that is just, and then land actually is going to have things like time crystals and grain that you have to buy, all of which would require DEC, but then that means you need to burn SPS because you don't have enough DEC. There's not even close to enough DEC. And so all that means constantly decreasing supply of SPS, constantly increasing price, simultaneously constantly increasing demand because people are going to see the SPS price pumping and they're going to come chasing those green candles. So you're going to have this hurricane of excitement and FOMO, decreasing supply, increasing demand, and that's the future I'm expecting. And absolutely that reality applies to the cards. It's the same story as SPS pumps, because I think it will, because of the mechanics I just described. You see people coming after green candles. How do they get access to the rewards of the game? They need a card collection. How do they access that? They rent them or they buy them. We're burning them as well. So we're burning them and people have increased need for them. This could get crazy. And this is the genius of the game. It's so interconnected. The team and the developers understood this. They literally wove this economy in this way because they wanted demand of one resource to impact and affect demand toward others. There's going to be some fireworks coming. I don't know if it's 2 months away, as the first commenter said, but I am actually hopeful that it could be. That is by no means financial advice. Do what you do and recognize that that's your risk. Understand my path to this has been years in the making. And if you were to follow my advice, you would take the prudent and slow approach of dollar cost averaging into something you enjoy the game for its own sake, and watch the rewards follow. And I think that's the probably the most prudent and least risky approach. That's what I've done. That's what I would encourage anyone who's listening to do. But it's an amazing game. Play it for its own sake. I'm going to leave it there. Have an amazing day. God bless.